Unit 6, pages 52 and 53, Part 9, Reading. Poverty, the world's biggest challenge.
It is estimated that a person dies of hunger somewhere in the world every 5 seconds, with most deaths occurring in Africa. At the same time, we see some movie stars in other countries earning over $20 million per movie. We see people spending more and more money on cars, computers, and clothing, and we hear about people getting richer and richer. Is this fair? Are the rich doing enough to help the world's poor?
Most people's reaction to that question is that we are probably not helping enough. Our governments lend lots of money to poor countries, but then they charge high interest when the countries repay it, and therefore poor countries never escape their debts. This problem is widely known and is debated in places such as the World Economic Forum, WEF, a platform for discussion that is supported by over 1,000 of the most important international companies, and is also publicized by people such as Bono, lead singer of U2. However, some people think that there is too much talk and not enough action. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, for example, lends money to developing countries and says that its intention is to help, but often its policies cause more problems. Similarly, the World Trade Organization, WTO, has the intention to help everybody, but it often seems to help rich countries more than the poor ones. Surely they should do something about Western companies that have factories in poorer countries that exploit cheaper labor costs, or pharmaceutical companies who refuse to reduce the prices of medicine in spite of the fact that they are essential for survival. Looking at all these examples, it is hard to believe that wealthy countries are doing enough to help poorer countries. On the other hand, and regardless of what we might think of WTO and IMF policies, even if we give lots of money, there is no guarantee that the money actually helps the poor. Deliveries of food are often stolen by gangs before they reach the starving people. Money is often stolen by corrupt government officials before it can be spent on important food and medicine. In addition, you only need to look at the streets of cities like New York, Los Angeles, London, and Madrid to see that there are many poor people living in the rich countries, and they also need help from their own governments. Also, I'm sure that the IMF does not act with the intention of harming anybody. Its policies are always aimed at improvement and growth in poor countries, and they have had some success. Failure can often be linked to things beyond its control, like recessions, bad harvests, wars, etc. In conclusion, it is apparent that wealthy countries could do more to help people in poor countries, and organizations like the IMF and WTO should also introduce new policies that stop rich countries exploiting poorer ones. But poor countries also need to be more proactive. If they are given money, they need to ensure that the money reaches the poor. If they borrow money, they need to spend it wisely. Everybody has a responsibility wherever they live, because if the world is going to defeat poverty, the only way it can do it is as a team.
End of Unit 6.